All right, so you're thinking about going solar. That's awesome. But did you know there's one single decision that's going to impact your energy savings more than literally anything else? Well, today we're diving deep into that exact thing, choosing the right solar inverter. Get this one right, and trust me, you'll maximize your investment for decades to come. Let's jump in. So, let me ask you a quick question. If you had to guess, what's the single most critical part of a solar power system? Go on, have a think. Most people, and it's a totally fair guess, would point right to the solar panels up on the roof. But here's the twist. It's not the panels. I know, right? While the panels are obviously super important, there's another piece of the puzzle that's way more critical for your system's day-to-day performance and its long-term reliability. And that component is the solar inverter. The best way to think about it is as the heart and the brain of your entire setup. Seriously, without a good one, all that amazing sunshine hitting your panels is completely and utterly useless. Here's the deal. Your solar panels, they generate what's called direct current, or DC electricity. But everything in your home, your TV, your fridge, the charger for your phone, it all runs on alternating current, or AC. The inverter's job is to do that one crucial conversion. A really good inverter does this super efficiently, but a cheap, poor quality one can actually waste a ton of the energy you've just generated. So when you start your search, you're basically going to run into three main types of inverters. This is your first really big decision. And honestly, it all comes down to what your roof looks like and what your plans are for the future. So let's break them down one by one. Okay, this is where it gets interesting, because you've got a real trade-off here. First up, you have string inverters. These are kind of the traditional choice. And yep, they're cheaper. They work by connecting a whole string of panels to one central inverter box. But, and this is a big but, here's the catch. If just one of those panels gets shaded, say by a tree branch or a chimney, the power output of the entire string plummets. It's a chain reaction. Now, microinverters completely solve this problem. Each panel gets its own tiny, dedicated inverter, so they all work independently. If one gets shaded, the rest just keep on producing at full power. It makes them perfect for complicated roofs or ones with partial shade. But, you guessed it, they do have a higher price tag. Now, let me ask you something else. Are you thinking, even just maybe, about adding a home battery in the next couple of years? If the answer is yes, or even maybe, then you're going to want to pay really close attention to this next option. And this is it, the hybrid inverter. You can think of it as a string inverter that already has a battery charger built right in. It might cost a little more today, but it makes adding a battery down the road incredibly simple and, well, seamless. It's really the future-proof choice, right? It lets you build one single integrated system for making your power, storing it, and even using it when the grid goes down. Okay, so let's say you've picked your type. Now, how do you tell a good one from a bad one? It's so tempting to just look at the price, I get it, but there are a couple of key specs that will have a way bigger impact on your wallet in the long run. First thing to look at, the warranty. And wow, this chart really tells the story, doesn't it? A budget inverter might only have a 5-year warranty, but a top quality premium brand, you're often looking at 10, maybe even 12 years right out of the box. And that's not just a number on a piece of paper. It's a direct signal of how confident that company is that their product can handle the tough Aussie climate year after year. The second thing is efficiency. Now, I know what you're thinking. A number like 95% efficient versus, say, 98%, it seems so small, right? But that tiny 2 or 3% difference, that's free energy from the sun that you generated but just can't use every single day. And over the 25-year life of your solar panels, that lost energy adds up to a huge amount. In fact, that little efficiency gain can easily translate into $3,000, $4,000, even $5,000 of extra value over the system's lifetime. So here's the bottom line. Spending a bit more on a high-quality, high-efficiency inverter right now pays for itself many, many times over. All right, so how do we pull all this information together and actually make a decision? Don't worry, I'm going to walk you through a super simple checklist that makes this whole process way easier. Here we go. Step 1. Look at your roof. Is it a nice, simple, north-facing roof with no shade? A string inverter will probably be great. Is it a bit more complex with some shade? Then you should really look at microinverters. Step 2. Think about your future. Battery or EV in the plans? A hybrid inverter is a really smart play. Step 3. Think about total cost. Don't just look at the upfront price. Remember that efficiency pays you back. And finally, step 4, and this is so important. Make sure your installer is CEC accredited and actually knows the brand they're installing. A fantastic inverter installed badly is just a bad inverter. You follow these 4 steps and you'll be in great shape.
Last but not least, let's talk about what to watch out for. Choosing a solar inverter is a pretty big investment, and you want to make sure you're protecting it for the long run.
You definitely want to be on the lookout for these red flags. If you see a brand you've never even heard of, with no local Aussie support office, a warranty under 5 years, or a price that just seems way too good to be true, be very, very careful. And always, always, double check that the inverter is on the Clean Energy Council's approved product list. That's basically your guarantee that it meets Australian safety and performance standards. So, I'll just leave you with this final thought. Your solar panels are designed to last for a quarter of a century. That's a long time. The real question you have to ask yourself is this: is the inverter you're choosing, the actual heart of your system, built to keep up for that entire journey? You make the right choice now, and you'll be thanking yourself for decades.